How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle, and today we're battling versus Mamba from the Discord server. They've got a pretty solid looking team. They've got the Annihilape, the Garchomp, the Corviknight, Milotic, Ninetales, and of course the Bramblegast. Is that what it's called? Bramblegast? I think it's called that. So it looks like they are very susceptible to rain. I feel like they lead off with the Ninetales to get the sun up straight away. Not that the sun really benefits them unless they've got Solar Blade on the Bramblegast, of course. So rain definitely benefits us, that's for sure. So I think we'll probably lead off with Politoed. It matches up really well nicely against their team, other than the Bramblegast, which I don't think they'll lead up with. So let's just do that. And the battle begins. So Mamba's going to bring out the Katara, which is of course the Milotic, as we bring out Drip, the Politoed. So not a bad matchup. They can't really do anything to us, and we can't really do anything to them for a start. So we're going to get the rain up, which is going to be very beneficial to us. Politoed is a pretty cool Pokemon, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and switch out, because Milotic is obviously very painful to go against. And we go into the Ogerpon real quick. This way we can get off a Horn Leech or something along those lines and do some serious damage to this whole team. So we're going to withdraw Drip, and we're going to go into our nice and powerful Ogerpon. I keep forgetting the name of it. Ogerpon. So there we go. Ogerpon comes in. They go for an Ice Beam. We're going to be able to eat that like it's nothing, of course. They don't get the freeze, which is nice. They have got the Marvel Scale, which is an interesting ability that Milotic has, where if it's got a Stats Affliction, it will boost its defensive stats. So I think going for a Horn Leech here is just fine, because their best switching is going to be Corviknight or the Ninetales. Ninetales we can just Ivy Cudgel the next turn. So I'm going to go for a Horn Leech real quick just to get some damage off. They probably go for a Flip Turn here, which makes a lot of sense. But we're going to get some nice health back from the Horn Leech, which is great. And they go for another Ice Beam. So there we go. Ice Beam comes through. They get a critical hit this time. It's fine, though. We can deal with that, no problem. I think now they go into Corviknight, though, because otherwise they're going to lose the Milotic. So let's go for another Horn Leech and see what happens. They do withdraw the Milotic. Good. You don't keep in against them, Ogerpon, like that. And they're going to go into Nightshade, which is going to be the Corviknight. So Corviknight is the perfect switch there, really. And we go for a Horn Leech. Just going to do some decent little bit of chip damage. Hopefully they're not Rocky Helmet. We get a crit as well, which is nice. Makes up for the crit they got against us. Are they Rocky Helmet there? That's the real question. Looks like they're not. The leftovers. The leftovers Corviknight. So that's fair enough. Leftovers Corviknight is definitely a thing. I would stay in and go for an Ivy Cudgel, but it's probably not the best play in the world, considering it won't KO even in the rain. Unless we Terra'd. If we Terra'd it KO. Do we want a Terra, or do we want a U-turn? I'm going to U-turn. I'm going to U-turn on out of there real quick, and I'm going to go into my nice and powerful Vikavolt. Vikavolt? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, let's go into Vikavolt real quick. There we go. Vikavolt can come on in. And as much as I would love to stay in and go for... Oh, they go for a U-turn expecting the switch. Fair enough. So they go for the U-turn expecting the switch. Now they get a free switching with whatever they want. And what are they going to go into, though? Are they going to go into the Garchomp? I'd say Garchomp's probably their best bet. In comes Jaws, which is going to be the Garchomp, probably. Yep, nice and powerful. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. So we could go for a Bug Buzz here. We don't fear this thing too much. Fire Blast is going to be minimalized because of the rain. They won't go for an Earthquake because we're levitating. So we could definitely go for a Bug Buzz here. I feel like Vikavolt is going to be important for taking out the Corviknight and the Milotic later on now. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to weaken this Garchomp because Garchomp's a threat, especially with a Scale Shot. If it's Scale Shot Garchomp, it's over. It's over. So let's go for a Bug Buzz real quick and just do some damage to this Garchomp. So they go for a Swords Dance, which is fair enough. They're setting up on us now. They are setting up on us officially. We go for a Bug Buzz. Let's get some damage off on this thing. Does a... Oh, wow. A lot of damage. As now they're probably going to go for a Scale Shot, in which case we have to go into Gliscor. So Gliscor's going to have to come in right now. Voltix did good. Vikavolt did good. There we go. And Gliscor comes on in to take a hit. So they go for a Dragon Claw. No Scale Shot, which is good to note. We're going to get poison from the Toxicorp, which is great. And for those wondering why we have Toxicorp on Gliscor, it has an ability called Poison Heal, where basically poison heals you instead of doing damage. It's pretty cool, actually. It's probably one of the arguably the best abilities in the game, I'd say. So we can easily go for a knockoff here, which is what I'm going to do. They go for another Dragon Claw. which nearly takes us out as we go for a knockoff. And that's going to obviously take us out with the rough skin. But you know what? It's fine. We got rid of the Swords Dance Garchomp. That's all that really matters. The Annihilape probably has Ice Punch. The Corviknight we can't touch. The Milotic takes us out of Ice Beam. Ninetales takes us out of Fire Blast in the sun. And Brambleghast does a lot of damage to us as well. So let's see how we can play this out now. I'm thinking Tornadus. Yeah, I'm thinking Tornadus comes in right now. In comes Nightshade, which is, of course, the Corviknight. As we bring in our nice and powerful Birdnado. Not a bad matchup. Not the best matchup either. They probably go for... I'm going to go for a Weather Ball just to get damage off on this Corviknight. I think that's probably the best thing I can do here. So we go for a Weather Ball. It's 100 base power in the rain. It's a water type move. Does a lot of damage. Not quite enough though. As they go for a Heavy Slam. Interesting. So Heavy Slam Corviknight is an interesting play. So the rain is going to stop, which is unfortunate. What we're going to do now is... Because they're going to go for a Roost, right? They're definitely going for a Roost. So we U-turn here. We U-turn here. And we go into something else. There we go. Going to U-turn real quick into something else. There we go. Withdrawing the Tornadus is probably the best bet. And we go straight into Vikavolt. There's no real reason not to. They don't have a ground type anymore. So we can just Volt Switch freely with Vikavolt. They do go for the Roost as expected. And the great thing is they outspeed us. So if they decide to U-turn here, we get Volt Switch free on whatever they decide to bring in next. If they stay in and attack us, then they've lost their marbles because this is a Vikavolt. Let's go for a Volt Switch real quick. It's Choice Specs boosted. It should definitely do a lot of damage to anything that comes in. They go for a U-turn, which is fair enough. Get a bit of chip damage on from my Vikavolt. Let's see what they go into, though. Are they going to go Ninetales? I'd say probably Ninetales. Volcarona. That's going to be the Ninetales, right? Yep, Ninetales comes in nice and shiny. Gotta love it. It looks beautiful. We go for a Volt Switch. They don't have Drought, which is interesting. So I'm guessing that's because they have a Milotic and they have a Corviknight and they don't want to weaken them in the sun. So we can actually go into Politoed now. Get the rain back up. And Tornadus can actually do some work here. So let's go Politoed once again. Get the Drizzle up, which is great. And then we go straight for a Surf. We'll just take this thing out. Surf's going to do a lot of damage to anything that comes in except from the Milotic. So they go for an Energy Ball, which is going to sting a bit. Not too much because we're specially defensive. As we go for a Surf and Politoed gets a KO. Drizzle Politoed, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute beast. Gotta love it. In comes Goosebumps, the Sociable, which is the Annihilape. That's absolutely fair play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Surf and I'm going to do a lot of damage to this Annihilape. I think Politoed can 1v1 this Annihilape. I'm confident we can. So they go for a Bulk Up. So are they going to start setting up on us? That's the real question. So if they're going to start setting up on us, then yeah, that's a problem. So we'll go for a Surf. See how much damage it does. A fair amount of damage. Now we go for an Encore and hopefully they go for another Bulk Up. So they go for a Drain Punch, which is going to finish off Politoed, unfortunately. Getting them some health back. And Annihilape is obviously a big threat. So we've already boosted their Rage Fist to 100 base power by hitting it with a move. Which is terrifying in its own right. But we do have the Tornadus in the back. So it's not really that big of a deal. So we'll go Tornadus real quick. There we go. We get to hit Hurricanes, 100% accuracy in the sun. So let's just do that real quick. And they might withdraw into the Corviknight. It's a very possibility, but I feel like they're staying in Rage Fist. So they do withdraw Annihilape. Are they going to go into the Brambleghast to get the Hurricane immunity? Grim Shady, that's got to be the Brambleghast, right? Yeah, Brambleghast comes in. Grim Shady, I like that one. That's cool. We go for Hurricane. Obviously, it doesn't affect because of the Wind Rider, but I couldn't stay in and just like, you know. This thing is Poltergeist as well. I have to be very careful here. So, Wind Rider boosts its speed, boosts its attack. We might have to let Tornado... No, we might have to let Vikavolt go down. I think I'll let Vikavolt go down here. So we'll withdraw Tornadus because once we get rid of the Brambleghast, then we're going to be golden. So we'll go into Voltix real quick. There we go. They go for a Strength Sap, which is, of course, going to do minimal recovery for them. Because we don't have a very high attack stat anyway. But it doesn't do anything because they're at full HP. I think we go for a Bug Buzz. Yeah, we go for a Bug Buzz here. They go for a Poltergeist and they miss. No, they don't. Never mind. And that takes us out. Poltergeist is such a powerful move. 110 base power Ghost type move is really good. It's very, very good. So now we've got a couple of options. We could go into Okie Dokie, and I think I will do that. I think I will do Okie Dokie. There we go, Okie Dokie, whatever you call it. So let's go for a knockoff and knock off this thing's item. Hopefully that is how it plays out for us. Let's go for a knockoff real quick. And I want to take out this Bramblegast. And that way, if we get rid of the Bramblegast, Tornadus goes hard. So they withdraw. They don't want to get hit by a knockoff, which is fair enough. And they're going to go into Nightshade, which is going to be the Corviknight. So Corviknight does come in. We go for a knockoff, knocking off his leftovers, which is great. The rain does stop, which is unfortunate, because now Tornadus is severely lacking in power. But we should be alright. I mean, I'm going to go Tornadus now. The reason I'm going Tornadus over Ogerpon is because I don't want to switch it on a Brave Bird. So there we go, going to withdraw Okie Dokie. And I'm pretty sure we can win this with Ogerpon. I'm pretty sure we can win this with Ogerpon. We just have to make sure we play our cards right. So they go for a Heavy Slam, which doesn't do much damage, even with a critical hit. Now we just go for a Focus Blast. Get some damage off on this Corviknight. That's pretty much all I can think to do. We need to weaken this Corviknight to the point where Ivy Cudgel's going to do a lot of damage. So they go for a U-turn after we Focus Blast them. And then they're going to bring in whatever they want to bring in. The Bramblegast, probably. I would say the Bramblegast comes in here. In comes Grimshady. Please stand up. Please stand up. So Bramblegast, does it outspeed Tornadus? I don't think it does. We have nothing that can hurt this thing, so we may as well go for a U-turn here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Get some chip damage off on them. They do have the Strength Sap, which is something we have to be very careful of. We have to be very careful of that. But we might be alright here. So I'm going to go into Okie Dokie once again. I don't think they go for a Strength Sap. I think they go straight for a Poltergeist. Or a Rapid Spin even. Rapid Spin is going to boost its speed. So it looks like they're trying to sell with this thing. Good Terra Flying. I think we go for a knockoff here. I think knockoff is the right play. So they do withdraw. They don't want to get hit by a knockoff, which is fair enough. And they're going to go into Katara, which is the Milotic. So they're just going to sack it off, I think. Which is fair enough. Okie Dokie is going to get that nice and powerful KO right there. KOing the Milotic, which is great. That's one less thing for Ogerpon to deal with. And I think we are golden from here, to be fair. In comes Goosebumps the Sociable, which is going to be the Annihilape. Absolutely fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. We go for a knockoff here. They probably go for a Bulk Up. So I'm going to go into Tornadus real quick. I think Tornadus is the best way. And I think they're trying to bait us into go for a Hurricane on this thing again. So they can go into Bramblegast. But I'm not going to fall for it. Withdrawing Okie Dokie into the Tornadus to... we can definitely take one Rage Fist from this thing, I'm sure. I am sure we can take one Rage Fist from this thing. They go for the Rage Fist. Let's see how much this does. Nearly gets the KO. So the question is, do they stay in? Or do they switch out? That is the real question. So I think we go for I think we just go for a Hurricane here. They might bring it in, but they might also expect us to go for a U-turn, expecting them to switch out. Yeah, I think we go for a Hurricane here. So Hurricane comes through and misses, as you would expect, which is a real shame, as they go for a Rage Fist, which is definitely going to take us out, unfortunately. So Rage Fist takes out Tornadus, which is absolutely fine. We can still handle this. We can definitely still handle this. So Ogerpon, is your time to shine, I think. I think it's Ogerpon's time to shine. So we'll go into Majora, and we'll Terra. We'll Terra Ivy Cudgel. That's the best thing I can think to do. There we go. We're going to Terra our Ogerpon. They haven't Terra'd yet, which is important to note. They haven't Terra'd yet, so we could still see something extremely cunning from our opponents. So we're going to Terra into our Wellspring form. Get that Embody Aspect, which is going to boost our special defense, I believe. Yep, special defense. And then we go for an Ivy Cudgel. And we'll see how much damage this does to the Annihilape. Let's just hope it gets KO. It KOs with a critical hit. Good. Annihilape deserves to go. It deserves to go. Grimshady comes in, which is, of course, the Bramblegast. Now, does it outspeed Ogerpon? That's the real question. So, I'm going to go for a knockoff real quick. I should outspeed, I believe. So, we do outspeed. We go for a knockoff. Takes out Grimshady. And it looks like Ogerpon's going to get a little bit of a mini sweep right now. So, let's see how this works for us. They've got Corviknight and they've got Ninetales left. The Ninetales does not have Drought. So they either don't have an ability patch or it's for the sake of the team. Corviknight comes in. I'm pretty sure Ogerpon finishes up right now. So let's go for an Ivy Cudgel real quick. Ivy Cudgel comes through. Ogerpon looking great right now. Boom. Down he goes. Down goes the Corviknight. So there we go. Corviknight goes down. And now we just have the Ninetales. And I hope he's not Drought. And I just misread it earlier. Oh, we already KO'd the Ninetales. Fair enough. We defeated Mamba. That's the end of the game. GG Mamba. That was a pretty fun game. Very, very fun. Ogerpon came through in the end there, which is great. But anyway, here's the team. If you want to try it out, use the top right corner of the screen's code. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.